You have the floor.
All right, well, good morning, everyone, and thanks for the invite to the club to help talk a little bit about MQP and the changes that we've made to this within the last year. If I can, let me just back up a little bit and give you a little history about the Michigan QSO Party. At one time back in the 80s, and prior to that, SIMDEXA, which is the Southeastern Michigan DX Association, was the sponsor of the Michigan QSO Party. And then roughly towards around 1999, the Mad River Radio Club took over the sponsorship of the Michigan QSO Party because things have started dwindling off and the participation has started dwindling off. So the Mad River Radio Club took over the Michigan QSO Party as a means of trying to help increase the participation of it and help build it back up again. So we have been a part of this sponsorship since 1999. Dave Pruitt, who has been our chairman up to the point of where he became ill and recently passed away back in 2020, was kind of like the life and blood of the Michigan QSO Party for us, because he pretty much organized everything and had ran everything for us over the years and gained a lot of participation from members of the club to help increase the activity of the Michigan QSO Party. With his passing, we were kind of in a lull for about a 3-year period. So we usually have a detailed write-up on that, the results of the Michigan QSO Party, which Dave did for us every year, and he did a very fantastic job with it. And so we didn't have a write-up for 1920, and in 21, in early 21, I became the chairman of the Michigan QSO Party, and we started out with a new committee member group. And this is our new committee group that we have up here, myself and Greg Chapitone and Victor Keene. Victor Keene is also our president of Mad River Radio Club. And we have Errol Morris, and Tim Mitchell is our webmaster, who has pretty much taken care of all of our web design and stuff that we have going on with our new website. The additional volunteers that we have as a part of the Michigan QSO Party is Mike Rutsky, who's part of our communications expert guy. He gets out and he promotes it by sending out flyers and stuff to various clubs around locally in the area to help increase and make everyone aware of the Michigan QSO Party. Kate IR is a regional representative from up north for us for the Michigan QSO Party. And then Everett Jackson is the person who produces the plaques that we issue out as awards for different categories. And Mike Van Buren is the person who helps mail out the plaques to the individuals that have won them. So that's what we've done there with that. What I would like to do is talk about the changes that we've made to MQP for 2022. And we can go back into the rules and awards, and I can show you the website and kind of make you aware of what's going on there with that. But as a committee, we met we started meeting in October through December. We met twice a month, and then from January through March, we met twice in January, and we met once each in February and March. And then in between of all that, we were exchanging a lot of emails back and forth between us as committee members to help finalize everything. Now, one of the changes that we made to MQP for 2022 is we had 2 mobile categories. We had a mobile solo and a multi category. And what we did is we merged those 2 together and just created 1 mobile category. The other thing that we did is that we dropped the rookie category and we added a rover category to allow for fixed county operations. The reason for dropping the rookie category was because we did not have enough participation in that. There was years where we virtually had no rookies at all involved in it. And then there were some years where we did have, like for last year, we did have rookies involved. But the extensive research work that needs to be done to determine, is this person really a rookie for the first time in the Michigan QSO Party? And so there's a lot of research work that goes into place in doing that. You have to go back and I went back and checked. I'm going all the way back to 1999 and prior years to say, okay, was this guy a rookie anywhere in this process? Just so you can make sure it's a legitimate request, And we were able to do that. It took a little bit of extensive research, but we did that. But we said going forward, let's drop that. And because we wanted to get more participation from people, and we didn't have a rover category, so we felt we wanted to create a rover category. So that's what we did. The other big major thing that we did in the rules was we usually, what we used to have was a serial number and then your QTH. If you was in Michigan, it'd be your county that you were in. Outside of that, it'd be whether your province or your state that you were in. So we changed that to an RST and QTH to be more coincide with other QSO parties that are out there just running a signal report, you know, RST and a QTH. The other thing we did as a committee was we decided to allow spotting networks. That means like a packet cluster, reverse beacon, or a skimmer for the purpose of encouraging contest participation. And what we found out as a committee is that we felt by allowing that, it made no difference in the outcome of the contest. Whether a guy was just operating single operator all by himself, or if there was somebody using a spotting network, okay? And I'm going to give you a good example of that. Last year, NA8V for 2021 won the high power category. He has something like 200 and I think 35,000 points, something like that. And I operated K8MQP and I ran a spot assistance. Okay. And to give you a good example of that, I had about 225,000, about 10,000 points less than he was. Now, mind you, he ran 10.5 hours in the contest. I did 12. And he ran single up without using spotting assistance. So it's just a good sign to show you that the spotting network really doesn't make an advantage or disadvantage to anybody that's using it. So that's why we decided to allow it to happen. So that way we gain more participation from people. The casual people, they want to come on and want to try to get more counties. That allows them to do that by using the spotting system. So we allowed that to happen. We've also established a mobile rover operations to operate in the county. And by that, we mean a lot of times you'll have some people that want to sit on a county line and say, oh, I'm going to give out 4 counties at one time. We felt that that was not the correct way of wanting to do something like that. We felt it was more important. If you're going to be on a county line, you can only operate in 1 county at a time. So that's where we've set it up for this year and going forward, is that you can only be in 1 county at a time for the operation. The other thing that we did is we had 30 days to submit your log after the contest. We have now, to coincide with a lot of the other contests in the area, we have taken that down to 7 days. So you have 1 week to submit your log once the contest period is over, okay? We also established to have the write-up results within 6 months of MQP completion. In previous years, we would never seem to get the results out until like 1 month before the next contest started. And a lot of people were kind of unhappy about that. They were kind of complaining about that. And so as a committee for this year, we said to ourselves, all right, we're gonna make sure we have the results published way enough in advance, make sure we have the awards issued up way enough in advance. So our goal is to have this all done within 6 months of the completion of MQP. Now, the other thing that we talked about was allowing to have paper logs. We get a handful of those every year. And what you do is you get casual operators. They just want to come on and make a few contacts and stuff. And we felt in order to encourage that participation, we wanted to continue to have people to submit paper logs. And then one of the guys within the committee is going to take those logs and then transfer them over into a Gabriella file and put them in that way and submit them that way. So we'll be able to track everything that way. We also established a group IO for the purpose of communicating on an MQP. Just like Southland Area Amateur Radio Club did, you guys created an IO group, just like what we did for MQP, and we also have one for the Mad River Radio Club. So we created this year, so you can go on to this site and be able to go on and log in, and then they'll set you up to be a member of that site. And that way, if you want to be able to communicate back and forth about MQP, you can do that. There's also a site that you can go to, which is info@miqp.org, which is in part of the introduction of the rules and regs. If you wanted to send a private message about a subject, if you wanted to ask a question on something and you didn't want everybody else to see it, and you just wanted, that would come to me directly to me as the chairman of the club. So I would be able to see that. The other thing that I want everybody to be aware about is the MQP website, which is www.miqp.org. So that's where you need to go if you want to come to the site, and everything is on that site. So let me switch over to that rules and regs site for you right now, if I can. Okay. So now that we've talked about the rules and the regs, I mean the changes to MQP, let me talk about the rules just a little bit. Mainly, we operate on 5 bands, 10 through 80 meters. We operate in mixed mode operations. There's no single band operations or no single mode operations. So we operate on 10 through 80, which means that you can work a station on both modes, meaning CW and sideband. So let's just say you were working at K8MQP, and if you worked them on all the bands and all the modes, you could essentially have 10 QSOs by working that one station. So that's what you're able to do with that, okay? Our context exchange, as I mentioned before, was just an RST, and then your Michigan County. And for everyone outside of Michigan, it's going to be your RST in your state or province if you're calling in from Canada. Also, we have a DX multiplier, which you get counted for one time for working, whether it's a KP4 or it could be somebody in Europe or something like that if someone calls you in. Now, we also have a list of abbreviations for our multipliers, and I'm just going to switch to that right now, if that allows us to do that. And this, did that go over okay? Okay, so this gives you all the list of multipliers, and you notice we use a 2 designation, like for Alberta, it's just AB. It's 2 positions, not 4 or anything like that, it's just 2. So these are all the different multipliers that we allow to be used. Next year already, we've had some discussion on this about adding the multiplier, the DC multiplier for Washington, DC. So we'll be adding that multiplier in for next year. Not this year, but we'll add it in for next year. And then again, here's the multipliers for the end state for our counties, okay? So there's 83 counties that can be worked within the state of Michigan. And there is 49 states excluding Michigan, because if you're operating from Michigan, you don't count that. And then there's the 13 provinces that can be worked in Canada.
So Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico are considered the DX?
Yeah, Virgin Island, Puerto Rico are considered to be DX, yeah. Yep. Okay, then let me, I guess we can switch back here now to my other rules.
Just go back, hit the back arrow. That one, yeah.
Yep, okay. Okay, now we also have a county map that you can refer to that's on our website, which allows you, if you wanted to print this out, then you could track the counties as you work them. So you're able to do that as well. And you can print that out. That's also on our website. Now, the other question we had is, okay, how we have notified the contest logging community. We've made them aware of the changes for the RST that's being done for this year and going forward. So as you can see on here, N1MM has a new version with that change in it. Also N3FPJ, FJP, as well as in-state and out-of-state. There's also another logging program from TR4W and one from SUCM that has the changes made to it. I don't know if anybody uses NA, I use NA. So there is a way to go into NA, into the template program of NA and make that change in there to change it to an RST from a serial number. So we have that available. If someone needs that, we can supply that as well. Okay, now. So all of our categories for high power, low power, and QRP are single operator categories, are mixed mode categories. Okay, as I mentioned before. And then we have our multi-operator entries. We have multi-operator single transmitter. And basically what that means is you can have several operators. Like there's 5 of us in the room here right now. We can all be at one station and operate under one call sign, and that can, with one transmitter, that would be multi-operator single transmitter. Also, there's occasion where we have people that want to run multi-transmitter operations, and that's where you can basically run a radio on every band simultaneously, and you're allowed to do that. That'd be a multi operation. And again, it would be mixed mode operation, no single mode, no single band operation. Again, we have our mobile category as well as our rover categories. And the only thing about a rover category is that in order to be a rover category, you have to operate in more than one county. So in other words, you're operating, let's say, in Oakland County, and you want to move over to Genesee County. You can do that. You set up a portable antenna, you can operate, you can use AC means to do that. And a lot of guys will probably operate around about 6 to 8 counties during the portion of the contest. And the thing about rover category, you can have multiple operators. So if you're driving from one county to the next, you can still operate as a rover. And so you're able to do that as well. You're limited to 100 watts on rover and also on mobile. Yes.
Question related to that. If you're using remote radios, does that count as a mobile or rover, or how does it work?
I'm going to say no on that. No, I'm going to say we're asking you to be in your mobile. I got a question on someone that said about operating on satellite. We're not going to allow that. We're not allowing UHF or VHF operations, even though we had a lot of discussion about that. Now, that is something that I would encourage you, if you think that's something you want to try to do remotely, then please send us a question on that. And that's to the committee to talk about that. We can definitely do that.
It's getting more popular. Like we have a couple members of the club that remote stations are in Florida a lot, so they might want to stay there and work this contest for Michigan.
Okay, now let me ask this question. How are they doing that? Are they operating from the radio that's at their house here in Michigan?
Yeah, like remote operation, does that matter? You can dial in if they have multiple places in Michigan, they can dial in different spots. How would that work?
I can't answer that for you right now. I'd have to.
I'll put it out there. I'll sign up and see what you guys talk about.
I appreciate that. Yeah, let's do that.
It's
Okay.
going to happen more often.
Yeah, you're right. It is. And I appreciate you guys bringing that up, because that more information that's going to keep coming up at us, and we need to we need to talk about it, make a decision on it. So I appreciate you bringing that up.
Because noise floors are crazy. They change all the time. Oakland County may be horrible, but up north might be great.
Yeah,
Switch.
I agree with you.
So,
I agree with you. Good point. I appreciate you bringing that up.
What about digital modes like Olivia or PSK 31 or any of those?
I'm sorry.
Digital modes like PSK 31 or Olivia or RIDI?
Well, we discussed the FT8 modes, the digital modes, and we're not allowing it for this year, but we are going to revisit it for next year. We felt that we had a lot of discussion about that. We just felt there wasn't enough added value for it right now. But we did say, hey, you know what, let's revisit this next year and see if we want to add it in. So yeah, that's a good point for bringing that up. Thank you. Because I did have that down here. Okay, we have our Emergency Operations Center stations, which is basically, it's been a part of our scoring for, part of our rules and awards all along in the past. So that's nothing new there. The multipliers are counted once per mode. So that means you can work them on CW and also on sideband. Okay, and then our frequencies for operating on are given here, which is on showing 3545 for CW, 7045 for 40, 1445 for 20, 2145 for 15, and 28045 for CW. And then your sideband frequencies there accordingly as well. The other thing is both call signs and exchange information must be received and confirmed by both stations for a complete QSO. There's no cross mode contacts between stations, meaning you cannot work somebody on CW into sideband mode, up on the sideband stations. You got to bring them down into CW mode, down into the CW frequencies to work them. The other thing we have on here is operators of multiple operator stations may not make Michigan QSOs with that station from another station, fixed or mobile, regardless of the location the QSOs are made from. So if you're part of a multi-operation, and let's just say you're leaving that operation, you were there and you operated, you're leaving, now you want to try to work that multi-operator station, you're not allowed to do that because you were a part of that operation to begin with. Okay. Mobile and rover stations that change the geographic entry they are operating from are considered to be a new station, can be contacted again when they change counties, okay? We're also asking that when you go into a county as a mobile or as a rover, that you're within that county. In other words, if you're going to change counties, you have to physically move 500 feet into that next county to be in that county. Then we're asking all of your entries to be submitted on Gabriel format. That's a common way of submitting your scores to the club. Cabrillo, thank you. That wasn't coming out right.
That's all right.
Cabrillo, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, the plaques that we're awarding for this year is as followed: high power category, low power category, and QRP category single operator, multi-operator for single transmitter or multi-transmitter, mobile category, rover category, Michigan Emergency Operations Center category, high score Michigan Club, high score out-of-state club, and then we have high score for out-of-state single operator and high state single operator for Western region and Eastern regions. We also have a certificate program that in the past we have mailed out certificates. Now you can go onto our website and you can print off your own certificate. Okay. Okay, now what I want to do now is try to get back to our website.
Ken, who's in charge of the log analysis? Because almost the ARRL's got more strict with their entering for a logbook of the world. I had a couple logs rejected because my CQ zone, the ITQ zone was wrong for the last 10 years. They finally checking that stuff and they weren't accepting my log. Does Michigan QSO party reject logs? They let you know there's entry that's error. They just ignore that. How do they do that?
When you submit it by Gabriel Cabrillo format, thank you. I keep saying that wrong. You're going to know if it received it okay.
Okay.
Okay, if there's an error in there, it's going to tell you what it is. Okay. And that goes straight down to K9TM. He's our guy that checks the logs.
Okay.
Can you just add a tab here, open a new tab?
Okay, do I just stop sharing here or what do I do?
Go, this is an Edge browser, right? I think it's next to that sign-in box. Is that, I don't use Edge. Is that?
Yeah, the top left.
Top
Click
left.
that and you should get another tab. Come all the way up.
Kill this tab?
No. Go to the left.
Right there.
Right there. As action. Should add new tag.
No, you just want to add it. You just want to open a new tab. Isn't
Just
that the
click
little
it.
symbol next to sign in over there?
When you say, okay, right here, you mean?
No, to the left of that, left that. Is that? No.
Collections.
No, I'm sorry. I don't use this browser. Does anybody know how to open a new tab?
Just right click on the menu bar. Go up the middle right click on that. All the way, go up all the way to the top on the tab bar. Right
Okay.
click on that. You should go do something.
Just click.
Right click.
Right. New tab. There it is. Fifth down, sixth down.
Okay.
Type in your.
Any URL you want.
Just type in what you want.
In the,
Oh, yeah, thank you. Why did that not come up? I don't have one.
Yeah, it's right there.
Click on a possibility.
Click on that. Left click that.
Okay, here we go. All right.
And click up over there on the edge. Yeah, it's no, don't do that. And that
Trying to get
your
rid of
little
that.
window is covering the thing you want to close.
Yeah.
See if you can grab the title bar of that little dialog box and drag it to the side.
This here?
Yeah, just left click and drag that. See if it'll move.
You can shrink this too.
All right, go ahead. I'll let you do it for me.
Then you can move it over and then you can close it, not now, and then expand it back.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
All right, very good. What I want to show you is over here on the left-hand side. When you come onto our website, you've got the rules and awards, which we kind of just went through. We've got records. Here, if you want to say, I want to operate from a county, you want to tell someone you're doing that, you can enter your plans, okay? You click on that. And then you go down here, you put in your call sign, you click on what county you're going to be in, and you hit submit. And that'll show you what county you're going to be in. Then you can come back up if you want, and you go view plans. Now, as I go through here, you can see there's some call signs over on the right-hand side, representative of the counties. Those are guys, someone mentioned W8MJ. He's Baraga County he's operating out of. He's already on. He's already signed up for that.
There.
Huh?
He's in his mind, he's already there.
He's already there, yeah. Okay, so you got people that are already signing up for counties. As you go down through here, so that's how we got, there's 57 counties remaining, so hopefully there's a lot more of those that are going to get filled in before next week comes around. Okay, we also got a section here where you can submit your log online. You go in here, you fill these out, and you can upload your file. Okay, and send that in. So you're able to do that as well on the site. Also on the site, I said, we mentioned certificates. You can go here. Now I'm just going to type in my call from last year. K8MQP is what I used. Oops. Okay, the name on the certificate. And then, of course, I was the operator. So I'm gonna put my call in there, even though I used the club call. I'm gonna put 2021. Come down here and hit submit. And there you have the certificate. Shows I was #2 in Michigan and #1 in Livingston County. It shows my score.
Nice.
So you're able to do that. You're able to go up and print it and save it as a PDF file. And then print it off how you want to do it. So you're able to print your own certificate if you want to have a certificate, which is kind of a nice thing that we've added for this year as
How
well.
far back can you go?
You can go back as far as 2008.
Okay.
Okay. We also have logs received by call, logs received by category. And here's our results that you can go to. Shows our plaque winners. Here's our write-up for last year. When we did this write-up, Dave, it's a picture of Dave here. He's the one that did the write-up for us all the time. He was very detailed about it. It took the 5 committee members to write this up this year. We each took on a portion of it, and we spent a lot of time writing, coordinating back and forth. So Dave was very good at this. He was exceptionally good at it. And we found by splitting this up, it took a lot of burden and a lot of stress off a lot of everybody to do. But we enjoyed doing it. So this is what you'll be seeing here as well. We got graphs showing how other people compared to it. Now I was asked to talk about how did we handle it in the COVID years. In 2020, we did not have any mobile operations that we awarded categories for, plaques for. We did not have multi-operations like multi-single transmitter or multi operations, because we felt that was not the right thing to do because of the COVID restrictions that were going on. So we just had a single operation, like for high power, low power, and QRP. And that's what we issued categories for that year. This last year in 2021, we allowed the mobile operations, we allowed the multi-operations for those people that wanted to do that. And it seemed to work out okay for us. Again, we're going to do the same thing again this year. Okay, so is there anything else that I can answer for you folks as far as do you have any questions in regards to this? And, okay, Bob, you got your hand up. I see it.
You might turn your speaker back on.
Okay.
Turn the volume up. I think it'll be okay. Speaker. One more. Where we're at. That's your.
That's my battery. Hang
One more
on.
to the right. Right there. One more. Yeah.
Okay.
Turn that up. I think you'll be all right.
Okay, Bob?
Yes.
Yes.
Would you like to discuss sponsorship of the awards?
Yes, I will do that. Thank you. First of all, thank you to the South Lyon Area Amateur Radio Club for sponsoring the top club for Michigan plaque for us this year. I appreciate that from you guys. This is the first time you guys have done that for us, and I really appreciate you guys doing that. Plaque sponsorship has always been a tough thing to get done from a club standpoint, because you're basically going out and asking clubs, would you be willing to help support us by doing this? And we found that it helps with the participation. If you offer an award or like a certificate, but also offer a plaque, we found that works out a lot better. So far this year, this is my first year of doing this. It takes a lot of work. We're sending out a lot of emails, and we have got, I think, 6 good responses so far that people have donated so far. So we're still working on the other 6, and we will continue to do that through the course of the year. But that's always a challenge to do that, but we feel that it's something that's necessary to do. And so we try to go to the local clubs in the area within the state of Michigan. The contest clubs and stuff like that, like Simdexa, Hazel Park, clubs like that. And we try to go to those kind of clubs and to seek their participation and support. And it has been favorable in the past, and it continues to look like it's going to be favorable as we go forward. So again, thank you to South Lyon Area Amateur Radio Club for helping support us.
Hey, Ken.
Yes.
This QSO party always seems to fall on Easter weekend. Is there a reason? I mean, is it?
We've always,
that third weekend?
that's a good point. We've always operated the 3rd full weekend of April. And there's been years, yes, when it falls on Easter weekend. And we have just gone through and continued with it that way. It's a 12-hour contest. It starts on Saturday at 1600 Zulu and runs till 12 midnight at 0400 Zulu. So it's a 12-hour contest just for that 12-hour period. I will say that our participation on Easter weekend has always shown that it's kind of been down from previous years when it hasn't fallen on Easter weekend. But we can continue to go forward with that, because we found that if we try to change the date, we're conflicting with other QSO parties. Like for this weekend, there's 4 separate QSO parties going on. I think there's Nebraska, the Dakotas are going on, and there's one other one that's going on out there for this weekend. And then the following weekend after the 16th is the Florida QSO party, which is a big QSO party going on down there. So
Gotcha.
we found that when we try to change our date, we're going to be conflicting with somebody else. And we felt, okay, we're just going to leave it the way it is.
Yeah, it's about 50-50 stays and 52 weekends, so yeah.
Yep. You're correct. Okay, is there any other questions I can answer, folks?
Hey, Ken, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, there, morning. Thanks for picking up the responsibilities of the chairmanship, and moving MIQP forward again, breathing new life into it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I got a question about the rover category. I don't know if you're familiar, but I'm involved with Parks on the Air. There
Okay.
is a Parks on the Air Spring Support Your Parks event going on that same weekend. It's also an opportunity for parks to be activated. And in Michigan, if I was to be a rover, I could potentially hit a whole bunch of counties, and I could combine Parks on the Air with Michigan QSO Party. I would expect that if I was to do that, or if somebody else was to do that, you may or may not know about the results of getting being spotted on the Parks on the Air website, but it could end up having a huge advantage for somebody to be spotted. Could you clarify if that would be considered spotting or assistance, or?
Okay, now what do you, when you say spotting, you mean you're gonna be spotting yourself? Because we're not encouraging you to do that.
So self-spotting, if I go to a park, is not allowed, but if somebody sees me at a park and they spot me, that's okay?
No, if somebody else spots you, that's fine. You can't spot yourself, though.
Okay, or if I
That's what
had
we're
an assistant multi-op in the rover category, I would not also be able to spot my operator, right? Okay.
Right, right.
Yeah, because that could end up having a big difference on the
Yeah.
results if you get on the Parks on the Air spots.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I think we even mentioned that in the rules. If we go back up and look at that, it talks about you can't have self-spotting.
Yeah, because I know it sounded like that was in conflict with what you originally said with being in the high power operator with you and the other fellow earlier, that it didn't make a huge difference.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to clarify that would not be.
Yeah, like when I
something
was operating on high power last year, when I was using spotting assistance, I did not spot myself, but I could see people spotting me.
Okay,
Other
yeah,
people.
because we did the same thing with the winter field day, and not being able to spot when that made a big difference to being when you get spotted on parks.
Right.
It just made a tremendous difference.
Okay. Yep. Yep. I mean, and you know, Mike, as well as I do, like if we're operating and we see ourselves get spotted, all of a sudden we got a run of stations coming at us. And that's just a natural thing that happens, right?
Yep.
The
Like it when the
nice thing
pileups
about that
happen.
is if somebody else spotted you, you didn't spot yourself. So that's what's good. That's what's okay about that.
Okay, yeah, because I expect that the rover category might see a big uptick in
Yep.
participation if it was combined with something like POTA. It would make I think it would attract more operators that
Yeah.
are not already participating.
Now, I'm just kind of curious, what kind of exchange do you have for Parks on the Air?
None. It's whatever it's as long as it's valid QSO.
Oh, okay, gotcha, gotcha.
So I could be at a park and call for Michigan QSO Party and log it for Parks on the Air as long as I'm in the park. And if
Okay,
I
good.
happen to get spotted on both websites, or great. If
Okay.
not, that's okay too.
Okay. All right, well, I'm gonna look for you this weekend, man. This
I'll be
coming
up
week-
there. Yep, I got to get in. I got to bring my gear in by snowshoe again this year, it looks like.
Okay, man. So you're gonna be on both modes, right?
Yep, that's the plan.
Okay, sounds good.
Ask him if he's gonna be in Bearville.
Yeah, he's gonna be in Bearville.
Yeah.
That's where he's gonna be at. Yeah, that's what he's posted already. All right, Mike, thanks.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, any other questions from anybody? Well, I want to say thank you very much, folks, for allowing me to present the Michigan QSO Party to you. And I look forward to hearing a bunch of you on the air this coming weekend.
Thanks, Ken.
Yep, thanks. Thank you, guys.